I'm sure you guys cannot guess what's going on here. That there is the beginning of a batter for pholourie. We're not making pholourie. We did pholourie a while back. Check youtube.com/Caribbean Pot for pholourie. It's on there already. Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com, guys. Always a pleasure to have you guys here in the kitchen with me. We have Mom one more time. We're doing a classic Indian Caribbean dish called Karhi. And first of all, there's two steps to this one. We're going to make pholourie, then we're going to make that sort of gravy. We're going to add the pholourie to it, and that's when you're going to get the classic Karhi. There's been a lot of requests for this one here. Your boy don't know anything about this. So this is why I had to call in the big guns. Mom is here helping me again. So here we go, making that classic Trinbagonian dish. What do we call it again, boy? Karhi. Oh, yeah. So this is the batter for the pholourie. We've got ground split peas in there. We've got some crushed garlic, water, some green seasoning, pepper. In the description below, I'm going to list out all the ingredients you'll need for making this entire dish. Also, you can check out CaribbeanPot.com for this recipe in detail. After the dough for the pholourie has already been mixed, you want to put some plastic wrap over the bowl and let it sit for about, well, to rest for about 15 minutes or so. So this is the setup for the first part of this recipe. We've got vegetable oil heating on a medium-high flame. We've got a wire basket here lined with paper towels, and that's to put the pholourie after they're done frying to take off some of that excess oil. We've got the batter, which has rested now for about 15-20 minutes or so. 15 minutes would be ideal. We've got a little bowl here with a little bit of vegetable oil, and my mom will be using that to coat her fingers when she's grabbing little, well, maybe about a tablespoon or so, maybe less, of this dough before going into the hot oil. So we've got the first batch frying in that oil there, and all my mom is doing is coating her fingers with that vegetable oil. Go ahead. And then she's going to scoop out maybe about a teaspoonful or so and just rub it into a ball, well, shape it into a ball, and in goes into that hot oil. As they fry, I think there's one thing I should mention to you guys. The batter is not your typical pholourie batter, because we didn't put any flour to make it a bit more airy. This is going to be solid, it's going to be heavy, and it's really going to be dense. Got a nice, lovely golden color. These are still hot. It took anywhere from 6 to 7 minutes to cook in that hot oil there. We just have them on the paper towel now, just to soak up any extra oil. Now we're going to make the base for it, which is the sauce. So we're just going to set this aside while we make the sauce for this curry. In the bowl here, we've got 1 cup of the ground dal or ground split peas. And all my mom is doing is pouring water in there to make a sort of a slurry with that. That's going to be the base for the sauce for this curry. All my mom is doing here, guys, is mixing this. We've got a cup and a half. So it's a cup and a half here, a cup and a half of water with that 1 cup of the ground split peas, and it's nice and smooth now, no lumps, and that there is going to be the base for the sauce. The setup here, guys, we've got about a tablespoon of vegetable oil heating up in a pan here. We've got the slurry that we made with the split peas powder. We've got some grated garlic, sliced onion. Here we've got some water with curry powder, Madras curry powder, as well as what we call saffron, which is really turmeric. We're going to need some salt, as well as some roasted geera, which is pretty much roasted cumin seeds. In that hot oil, we had the sliced onion, and it's sliced very thin, cooking for about a minute or so, and in goes the slurry with the curry powder. Smelling wicked already, boy. Yeah. All we're going to do now is turn the heat down to low and let that cook for about 3 minutes or so to get that raw curry taste out of the dish. As the curry slowly cooks, in went the grated garlic. You can crush your garlic. There's about 3 cloves of garlic in there, as well as the roasted cumin, or what we call, what is it called again?
Geera.
Geera, roasted geera. The curry is cooked down, there's no more liquid in there, so my mom is just going to toss in the slurry. Well, I keep calling it slurry, but the mixture with the water and the ground split peas. Gonna turn up the heat now just to bring that back up to a boil. If you notice that it goes too thick, what you need to do is add some more water. So we added another half a cup, between half and 3/4 of a cup, and we're going to work that in and bring it up to a boil before we add the sort of pholourie thing that we fried up earlier. After you've got that nice and smooth, we ended up having to add an additional 2 cups of water in there. So guys, please look in the description below. You're going to see the exact amount of ingredients that we used. After you add the pholourie, or what they typically call the boulders, all you're going to do is mix that really well, turn off your stove, and you're good to go. Don't forget to add the salt. Taste for salt, adjust accordingly. This is all done now. Again, classic Trinbagonian dish, Karhi. I'm sure there's a version of this somehow or the other in India, but guys, you got to give this one a try. Chris here at CaribbeanPot.com. Once again, I got my mom in the kitchen here helping me out. Thanks a lot, Mom. Guys, give this recipe a try. As always, it's always a pleasure to have you guys here in the kitchen with me. Remember to subscribe to the channel so you can get all the latest videos as soon as they go live. Have a good one.